Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I just finished recording a video related to oil prices, the economy, inflation, of course, the Saudis' response to Joe Biden's ridiculous claims. And I thought, well, that covers Joe Biden's dishonesty, the economy, inflation. We're going to move on from that topic and go on to some other things. And then I started doing a little bit of research and I stumble upon this little MSNBC clip and I'm just questioning myself, how the hell is this news? This is straight up DNC propaganda. And then shortly afterwards, I stumble upon a Joe Biden clip where he's essentially saying the same damn thing. And of course, it's in relation to inflation and the economy. So I guess here we go, round two. It seems as though the final desperate economic talking point from the DNC has been crafted. Joe Biden's reading it off the teleprompter and it's being sent to all these talking heads across these various fake news left-wing publications and networks. And it is some of the most dishonest, disingenuous political garbage you will ever see. The video that I was just recording was ranting about Joe Biden and the DNC's dishonesty when it comes to tackling these economic issues. And then they take it even further with this. Let me show you guys exactly what they're saying. It really just pisses me off, to be completely frank with you guys. We've got some stuff to look at. Let me show you guys what's going on. So of course, let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so every couple of weeks, every month or so, there's a new talking point. The DCCC tries to come up with something. They send letters out to all of the DNC talking heads, DNC shills, and politicians, and then they all regurgitate the talking point. Of course, we all remember the whole Ultra MAGA nonsense. That was a great example of it. The threat to our democracy. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Well, now they know that they have to tackle inflation. Inflation has been a thorn in their side. It's been a complete disaster on all fronts for the Democrat Party, and I mean, it's been a self-made disaster. They're doing it to themselves, and they're being utterly dishonest. And so it seems as though they finally cracked the code. They finally figured out what they need to do, what they need to say to tackle this issue and make it a winning issue for them. And well, you won't believe this. Take a look at what Chris Hayes said on MSNBC.
The midterms only 27 days away. Republicans appear to think they have the advantage on the economy. Big part of that is just that the party that's out of power, because the party that is out of power doesn't have the White House, will typically run against the status quo. And right now, a big part of the status quo is inflation. People don't like it. According to the latest tracking poll, the economy is the #1 issue people would like to hear candidates talk about, ahead of abortion and immigration. But if the economy is the #1 issue to voters, then there is one party that will have an incentive to make it better. And that party is the one that has the presidency, the Democrats. The other side, the Republicans, have an explicit incentive to make the economy worse. And I will tell you, having covered the Tea Party Congress of 2011 amidst the recovery from the financial crisis, I feel confident in predicting that if Republicans win control of one or both houses of Congress, they will do everything in their power to sabotage the economy, to best set them up to retake the White House in 2024.
How is this news? Now, of course, it's not. It's MSNBC. It's either fake news or editorial. But how is this a take? Oh, well, you got it there, Chris Hayes. The Republicans are going to win, and they're going to do everything in their power to destroy the economy. What are you talking about? Why would they ever do something like that? This is classic propaganda and fear-mongering. Oh, it's the only logical thing that makes sense. If the economy starts to do well, then it's going to benefit Joe. Therefore, the Republicans are going to try to sabotage the economy. No, if anything, they're just going to keep cutting costs and stalling Joe Biden's ridiculous agenda, which is called saving the economy from Joe Biden, who's really the one who's sabotaging the economy. Holy moly, this whole thing's backwards. I mean, what are the Republicans going to do when they get elected? Try to pass a $7 to $8 trillion multi-pronged spending package in the midst of an inflation crisis like the Democrats tried doing last year? Yeah, I don't think so. What they're probably going to do is cut out all of the pork, stall Joe Biden's Green New Deal march to socialism, and return some basic common sense and fiscal responsibility to government. How ridiculous. But when I first saw this clip, as a standalone piece, I didn't think too much of it. I clicked it, I saved the tab like I usually do. My reaction was, how is this news? Like, how is somebody saying this when it's pure speculation and ridiculous speculation at that? But I said to myself, it's MSNBC, whatever. They say the craziest crap every single day nonstop. Then I stumbled upon this. Joe Biden says if Republicans win, inflation is going to get worse. It's that simple.
Today's report shows, though, some progress. Overall, inflation was 2% over the last 3 months. That's down from 11% over the prior 3 months. That's progress, but a lot of it is a result of getting the cost of living at the gas pump down by more, not even in California now, by more than $1 nationally, and since the start of this summer. There's a big difference for working folks.
I'm telling you guys, this is the new talking point. If Republicans win, inflation is going to get worse. Be scared. Be very scared, folks. The Republicans are going to cause an inflation crisis, says the man who, as I just mentioned, tried to pass trillions of dollars, not billions, not hundreds of billions, trillions, a multi-trillion-dollar, multifaceted spending package when everyone told him it was a bad idea, even his own party, yet they continued and persisted and eventually passed, of course, a fraction of the spending, but still a bunch of irresponsible social spending, pouring fuel on the fire of inflation. Not to mention Joe Biden's recent student loan forgiveness, which is estimated to cost the taxpayers, or to cost the Federal Reserve money printer, $300 billion to $1 trillion. I mean, this is just unreal. This is the new talking point. Oh, vote for me, folks. Things are real bad right now under my leadership, but trust me, it's going to be even worse if the Republicans win. They're going to purposely try to sabotage everything to benefit themselves electorally heading into 2024. No, Joe. Here's the thing. You already did that for them. Republicans don't need to sabotage the economy or drive inflation up to win an election or to win the next election. Your inflation crisis in this Biden recession is already priced into the markets to be lasting all the way to 2024. You know, it usually takes anywhere from 300 to 500 plus days to reach market bottom, meaning we're probably like halfway through this bear market. You know, inflation was never transitory and it's persistently high, above 8%. Republicans don't need to sabotage anything over the next 2 years because you already did that work for them. But this is going to be the new talking point, and honestly, that's probably the strategy. Joe Biden knows that things aren't getting any better anytime soon. He probably also knows on the other side that Republicans are slated to win because they're winning on issues related to the economy and inflation. And so the Democrats are making a strategic decision here. Of course, I'm not going to say Joe Biden's making a strategic decision because we know Joe Biden can't think, but the DCCC and all the Democrat strategists are saying, well, look, if we're going to lose on inflation and the economy, and if things are going to continue to get worse, and Republicans are going to pick up seats, well, we might as well start working on rhetoric to blame all of the economic woes that are going to continue over the next 2 years on Republicans. But sadly for the Democrats, it's not going to work because it's clearly a lie, it's clearly disingenuous, it's total crap. Even Democrats blame Joe for inflation. Democrats don't like Joe Biden as a president when it comes to economic issues and policies. The Dems are completely underwater on these issues, and at the end of the day, what Joe Biden reluctantly said after his Afghanistan withdrawal failure, that the buck stops with him, well, it's true. It does, and it will. Joe Biden's not going to be able to walk away from the next 2 years unscathed, even if it's a Republican majority in the House and in the Senate. It's going to fall on him. He's the president, he's the chief executive, and he's the one who got us in this position in the first place. He and all of his globalist G7 New World Order friends, who all did the exact same thing and have the exact same excuse. Well, it's not just happening here, it's a global problem. Yeah, it's a globalist problem. It's all of you guys and your ridiculous lockdowns and money printing and fiscal irresponsibility. And no matter how much they try to shift the blame, it's not going to work, and we're seeing conservatives rise across the Western world for the simple fact that people, especially honest people and people who have basic fundamental understanding of how monetary policy works, well, they're going to blame liberals, they're going to blame loose monetary policy, fiscal irresponsibility, and we're seeing polls that people are moving towards less government spending. The idea of a smaller government that does less and that doesn't run these massive deficits, that's a concept that's growing in popularity. We're seeing a political reawakening, a monetary policy red pill as people have been seeing these debts pile up over the last couple of decades. From the Bush era to now, I mean, we're talking about $40 trillion in national debt by 2030, if I'm not mistaken. People are waking up and saying, man, this is not how I would run my household. Why the hell are we running the government this way? People are waking up, it's going to fall on the Democrats, and this last-ditch, disingenuous effort from the DNC that's being pushed and promoted to all the talking heads on MSNBC and other networks, and of course all the Democrat politicians, it's going to fall flat because it's an obvious, dishonest lie. That's what I got for you guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel if you guys are up for it. I'm going to get back to work. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.